Hey, I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Serena.
And you're listening to
Girl Next Door.
We're your favorite neighbors, bringing real talk, good vibes, and all the cozy feels right to your ears.
Whether we're talking life, love, family, or what just happened yesterday, we're keeping it honest and a little bit loud.
That's right. So get comfy because Girl Next Door has a lot to say.
Yeah.
Like, why do you feel we struggle with that? Even knowing what the Word of God says.
Well, that's loaded. I think for me, because I think that one, I don't know if we truly believe
Yeah.
what God says about us.
Yeah.
I think we know how to quote the scriptures. We know how to, obviously, we can read them, we can listen to them in church, we can declare them, we can sing about them in worship songs. But I don't think we really receive his words. And I think that's tied to sometimes we don't truly receive him as the absolute final voice. Like, I know you by name.
Yeah.
I knew you before I formed you. I knew your name was going to be Tiffany Edwards before your mom even had you. I knew you were going to be Serena. Like, if we sit and just really think about that, like, we know I know the number of hairs on your head.
Yeah.
If you got a weave or you don't have weave.
My
I can
God.
tell you when 437 fall out. I can tell you when number 28 grows back stronger. Like, he knows us intimately.
Yeah.
And so I think if you, I'm not being judgy, but I really don't know how people navigate life without even trying to pursue God.
Yeah.
Because it's challenging receiving that and knowing him. So I can imagine not knowing him and trying to navigate life. But I think that us as Christian women really, really have to look at our connection with God, who he is in our life, and how serious we take his word. Because here's what I found. You can give me compliments all day. He can give me compliments all day. My family can. I can feel encouraged in a moment. I can feel motivated. I can do all the self-reflection and self-work. But that all has an expiration.
Yeah.
Like, it is
That
not
is so good.
as fulfilling as when I really own what God says about me.
Yeah.
And who he's declared me to be. And not just from scripture. I'm talking about from, like, spending time with him. And so I talked about the new job earlier, right? Keith was complimenting me and I shared it with you and you were like, Serena, I'm gonna be praying for you. I was telling you, like, girl, I hope the background check come back. Now, y'all ain't doing that crazy. It was just taking too long.
And
So
I said, what are you even talking
panicking.
about?
Like I done robbed someplace. I got a history of past, whatever. I don't know. I was just freaking out. And so Tim was like, okay, well, we gonna pray that as well. So, but it didn't matter until I was sitting in my little office at home. And God had to, in his own way, in my quiet time, say, hey, you know who I've called you to be. You know how I've equipped you. And his own way spoke to me. Then I was like, man, I'm feeling empowered.
Come on.
And everything y'all did was helpful, right?
Yeah.
Because I need that too. You need community. We're not called to live solo. So for people who were like, I'm just going to trust in God and believe, well, good luck with that. Because we were built for community.
That's right.
We were built for one another. But yeah, I think when people struggle with that, I think, I'm glad you brought that up. Don't always just think about how can you look at you and look inward. That's good practical stuff. But for good Christian advice, look at your relationship and your connection with God.
Yeah.
Because even looking within is faulty.
Yeah.
Because his ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. And so a lot of times we try to do all this self-help stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with this. Ain't nothing wrong with this. But I do some of this stuff too. We journal, we stand in the mirror, we declare affirmation.
Yes.
This, like, I'm so tired of it was like 24, 23 something around there. I'm so tired of everybody in these positive affirmations. Whatever got to get y'all through, but it was a bit much for me online.
And yeah.
It was just so much. Everybody, affirmation.
No, it was strong. It was strong and mighty and fast.
Yeah, it was really strong on social media. Everybody, I'm affirming. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, for those of us who know, let's not get distracted even by our little feeble attempts to heal those, like you said, deep insecurities. Like, no, deep insecurities. No, I need God to talk to me. If I've had enough past experiences and history with certain things, I need to know that that God is aware of those things. I need to allow God to touch and heal in those areas so that I don't always constantly live in this cycle where, well, I gotta downplay who I am. I mean, I wouldn't want to follow a Christian who just
I know.
every time just meek and
I
low.
know. That was me, girl. I was meek and
Me
low.
too. I always
Getting hung.
Yeah.
Girl.
It's like you ain't
Get
you ain't
out of
excited about nothing. You ain't owning nothing
Yeah.
that the Lord is doing
Yeah.
in your life. And so we talked about that. That's why we were like, we're in this season where we're trying not to do that.
Yes. Like, I feel free. I'm just like,
Yeah, that's the word you
yeah,
use.
I
Yep.
just I want to see what God, all the things that God has for me, and I want to do it. I want to like literally walk in faith, like, and trust him at his word. And that's just the season I'm in.
Yeah.
And y'all, I don't want to get to the end of my day. I've been saying this all year. Like,
Girl.
I do not want to get to the end of my day and saying, oh, I wish I woulda, shoulda, coulda, or I wish I believed more, or I wish I took you at your word, God.
Yeah.
Like, no, he's giving me the opportunity and the time now to do it. He's giving you the opportunity and
Yeah.
the time now to do it. So do it.
Yeah.
And be bold in that thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like Serena said before, I'm just tired of me. I'm just tired of me.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the past me, and I'm just wanting to get beyond that person and be introduced to the new and improved Tiffany, honey, because she is here, honey.
Yes,
and
I
I
know
don't
that's
care
right.
what nobody has to say
Yeah.
about it. This is my journey, and I'm excited
Yeah.
about it. And
Good.
yeah, that's just where I am.
No, that's good. Because we had this in our notes, but sometimes people fear what will happen if I actually do become all that God says I'm supposed to become. Because you said I don't want to get it in my days. Like my prayer to God is constant. I don't want to stand before Him and God have to say, "This is what you were supposed to do. You made it in."
Oh God.
I had so much, girl. I would be. It ain't no second chance.
Oh, God.
That's it.
Oh, I'd be so ashamed, Lord.
It's so
Like, oh, I'd be
silly.
ashamed. You tell me that to my
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, to your face.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd be so
So
ashamed.
we love to
Sorry,
say, I
God.
want to see him face to face. And he like, come on, girl, I got something.
I got something to share. Oh God.
Yeah, no, for real.
No, that's real.
Yeah, like that's my biggest, like, probably my top fear is like just getting the glory. And God's like, you made it in, but Serena, you were supposed to do so much more.
Oh, if you only would have trusted me.
Yeah, and believe
who I've called you to be.
Yeah, and so I think sometimes I know I have a little bit. Have you feared that? Specifically, I'll say this, and maybe you all can tell us too, but specifically as it relates to like spiritual gifts. So we've been talking about compliments in the sense of our successes, maybe our appearances or career, whatever. But in the sense of like spiritual giftedness or callings,
Yeah.
when people compliment me in certain areas, sometimes that one isn't like I have self-doubt because of past experiences. That one is, well, what if I do actually believe it and start operating in it? And that's that unknown is scary.
That's scary. Because now I'm seeing something that I never would have saw for myself, or it's been out there, but I've never tapped in until somebody called it out. And now I'm forced to look at it face to face and see where that could potentially lead me as far as my growth and and that you're right. It is scary because it's like, how is that journey going to look?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I think it's scary for how it's going to look. And then it's scary because it makes me feel like I have a responsibility to do.
Now.
To act.
Yeah.
To be.
Yeah. Because why is it not leaving me alone? And then on top of that, it's what is it? It's a fear of I didn't even ask for this for myself. Like there are things that I want to accomplish and things that I know that God has graced me for and me walking in gifts and talents that I know He's given me, but things that I know that He's called me to, like I didn't ask for that.
Yeah.
So now if I ignore it, I'm not gonna ignore it. But if I ignore it, like, oh my gosh, like that thing could even lead me to all of this stuff that I have written down for myself. Like that can open the door for so much more over here. But I just feel like it's a total like shift left, shift right from where I am. And I'm like, I don't even, with all due respect, I don't even want that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see the potential, and oh my gosh, I'm even wowed that you would trust me with
Yeah.
that,
And
but I
consider,
didn't even
yeah,
ask for that.
yeah, I want to answer for that. So I got a funny example. Most of you who may be watching know that I'm married to a senior pastor. And so
Same.
what yeah, well, it's important for this story. I had to say it. But I used to Keith jokes because I used to always tell him I only wanted to be a good Bible study girl. And I got that phrase from a lady from out of her book. But I really just wanted to I had this picture in my head that I would be married, we would go to church, we would serve, we would be good, faithful members, we would raise a godly family. I would go to Bible study, good Bible study girl, Sunday school, that's it. And so I was okay with that. Now, here we are today, Lord. And tied to that, I'm like, okay, I accept whatever the Lord is doing in his life and doing in ours. But now we're getting to a point where God is speaking more things to me more specifically and showing me how his vision that there's more for me to do that I didn't anticipate I would be doing. And yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So
So like
how
you
are you
said,
handling that?
I don't know. I don't know, girl. We ain't talking about that. Um,
You probably
no, I was trying to tie it to
No,
the
no,
point of
I
like,
know, I know.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
That you're right. We can sometimes be afraid of what's ahead. That you're
Yeah.
praying for one thing and not knowing that God is gonna bring it back in another way. And so God is like, yeah, you praying to have this type of family, and I got something for you behind.
Yeah.
And so people are speaking and encouraging, and I'm like, nah, this is a bit much now. I was just praying for this part over
Yeah.
here. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'm handling that. But here's what I am doing. I'm doing like you are. I'm trying to walk in freedoms in whatever area of my life.
Yeah.
It feels too heavy to carry around self-doubt,
Yeah.
insecurities, to downplay,
Yeah.
to operate in imposter syndrome. All of that is too heavy
Yeah.
for me. I have too much going on.
Yeah.
I got kids.
Yeah.
I got a husband who just be doing stuff like leaving socks around, doing whatever he want to do.
Yes, mine too.
Backing out
Yeah.
of the garage, tearing up my window on the side. Just a lot. I'm sorry. I just had to get it off my chest.
Oh, I
A
feel
lot
your
of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to, all jokes aside, I don't want to carry those things around and not be free. I already got enough
Yeah.
on my plate. And so if I can let that go and just receive who God says I am, if I can embrace my community, even down to the smallest of things of when a friend compliments me
Yeah.
or somebody at the church speaks life into me or tells me I did something well and just receive that to me, it makes me feel lighter and it makes the journey feel easier and more
Yeah.
tolerable. And I don't know if we always consider that God is orchestrating people in our lives for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know
Like, do
you're
we
really good at that. You've done that for
Yeah.
years with me.
Yeah.
You've always complimented. Well, actually, I joke with you because I've been out with you and we just been a full conversation. You be like, "Oh, I like your dress." I'm like, "Girl, you ain't gotta tell them that. I
I
was
know.
talking to you about something, so I'm a little aggravated that
'Cause
you
that I
stopped."
cut you
Yeah,
off to do no,
yeah.
that
You're like,
when
you
me and
have to
Tony
do
were
it.
dating, like, this is dating, like, we were still in college, and I remember we went to the mall,
Uh-huh.
and it was this lady walking by me, and I just loved her dress, so I was like, excuse me, excuse me." I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love your dress," and she
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much," and I said, "You're
Yeah.
welcome." I don't know, that just lifts me up. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
and not that I'm doing it just to do it,
No,
I
no, no.
love
Yeah, it comes natural
complimenting
for you.
and encouraging people. I
Yeah.
just love it,
Yeah.
and then when I see it make someone's day, it's just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, God, for that." Like,
Yeah.
I'm the person that if you speak to me randomly, you're a stranger and you speak to me, I'm out walking in my neighborhood and you are walking and you say, "Good morning." I say, "Oh God, thank you for that." That just made me feel so good because it's just so good to be kind to
Yeah.
one another. Like,
You're so nice.
no, I
I've been
do.
trying
And
to
I'll be
avoid the
waving
stranger
and speaking to
sometimes.
people because I just want people to have a good day. And sometimes they really do. They just need that reinforcement, like, okay, today is going to be a good day. Oh my gosh, this stranger just spoke to me. Oh my God. Like, I think it's just important. So I'm like, I realized that, yes, I feel like that's one of my roles here is to be a light to people in that way.
But we still struggle with receiving.
That part. Like, because I struggled for years with receiving and believing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but it comes so natural. Yeah, no, and because of you, I've tried to do better at that. Because you've shared that with me before. You're like, I just feel like people should know that I like their dress or I like how their hair is cut. And I was like, you know what? She's right. So I try to do a little better, but it tend to be awkward. I'd be like, oh, excuse me. Then they don't hear. They don't hear me. And I'm like, oh, see. See, that's why. This is why. This is why
I ain't even hearing you, girl.
See, this is why I ain't gonna compliment nobody.
They ain't even listening, Lord.
But I do try to be, people be looking like, what? I'm like, okay, I think I'm giving off the road. I'm trying to grow, God. I'm just trying to give you a compliment. But I do because I enjoy receiving it now, and I'm in a place of, like you say, trying to really embrace it. So I was like, I don't need to just be a recipient.
Yeah.
I need to tell people, even down to not just like physical compliments. I know we're using that as an example, but when I see someone, I was talking to someone on the phone the other day who goes to the church, and he was explaining the situation to me, and I said, can I just stop you and tell you, you sound totally different from a couple years ago. I said, and I hear growth in you. And just really giving people that, because like you said, you really don't know what it does for people.
Yeah.
You really, and that's been kind of the testimony that I've been hearing with people, like, oh, you didn't know I needed to hear that, or sending people messages on Facebook. Y'all do that. We need to be considerate enough to think of others, because it's just hard out here. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
And so you're right. We really don't know what people are going through. So,
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
What keeps us from believing the good? So one thing I have here is cultural norms, humility versus self-rejection, personal identity gaps. I don't see what they see, the fear of rising to the occasion. What if I try and I fail?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, and we kind of touched on that a little bit. What was the first one you said? Humility versus
self-rejection. Humility.
Yeah, I think, yeah. To me, I might have been doing a little bit of that when I'm downplaying. It's coming off like, oh, I'm just being home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, oh no, you don't have to. But you're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
You are, and me, I'm very competitive. So sometimes I'm like, yeah, I did do that. But I've learned to downplay. So I got to downplay because I don't want to seem humble. But I can't really talk to the difference as much. But I do want to ask and talk on this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you have some insight. You've had some feelings around this. As I'm trying to grow in this and learn to walk in this freedom, sometimes the humility part can be tricky because I want to own that I am who he says I am. I want to own that. Man, I killed that. I want to be proud of myself and be able to express that without this feeling of whatever, or considering others to the extent to where it's detrimental to me. But then how do one balance between making sure they don't cross over to being prideful?
Well, I think I honestly feel like if everything you do and say is rooted in, I know that what God has called me to do, what He's called me to be, and I'm walking in that confidence. I don't think that there is a moment of you crossing over into that as long as you stay rooted in who's giving you the opportunity, who's built you up, who's gotten you to this point. So even if that's coupled with you standing in that truth of who you are, but you crediting God even while you stand in that truth. And I mean communicating that as well.
Yeah.
I think that for me helps me feel like, okay, no, I didn't cross over into pride, the state of pride, the state of I did it by myself.
Yeah.
It was all me. I put in the hours, I put in the work, and look what I did.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, thank God. Like, because of God, I've been able to do this. I've been able to do that. And I think that just you speaking that keeps you in a posture of if it was nobody but God.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes back to then. It sounds like it's going back to what we talked about earlier. You still got to stay connected to God.
Absolutely.
You gotta
All of
connect.
it. All
Yeah,
of
you got to
it.
go right back to him. I need him there.